All you talking that about Snoop can't come to the hood, he can't do this. I can do whatever I like when I like. You is 50 years old. You can't get a job, cuz? You mad at me, cuz? Cause I won't help you no more? Cause I can't do nothing to help you no more? You mad, cuz? You mad cause I won't call you big homie? Cause I'm 40-something years old and I refuse to call another big homie that ain't got a job, that ain't got a car. And furthermore, I just want to let y'all know that to get at a real man is a conversation, not to be trying to Facebook bang and try to get injunctions and lawsuits or whatnot. In a minute or two, me and you will be able to holler face to face like you really don't want. But you gonna get that. You gonna get that face to face with me.
From Rick Ross letting gangs know what's up.
Ain't never no checks getting cut. I don't play those games. I consider that extortion. We don't play like that.
To MC Hammer putting gangsters in their place.
I'm like, what? How am I? So basically he came with Hammer like, hey man, this LA and everything, man, and things can happen, you know what I'm saying? You to holler at me, man, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me for protection. Hammer said, protection for what? See, man, I got 12 bodyguards out there. So 5 of them straight killers. You know what I'm saying? So, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I don't need no protection.
These are the times when street dudes tried to force the wrong rapper to check in and learn the hard way. Starting with Pop Smoke. Back in 2022, Hassan Campbell was on a podcast where he talked about how these extortionists keep tabs on rappers, knowing exactly what hotels, villas, and spots they're staying at.
You gotta check in. On the West Coast, they more disciplined than we are. When you step, they know the hotels, the villas, everywhere you go.
According to him, Pop Smoke didn't check in with the right people, which allegedly led to them breaking into his rental home, a situation that unfortunately cost him his life.
Pop Smoke didn't check in, so he got checked out. It's just that simple. They knew he was there.
Rest in peace, Pop.
Hassan also mentioned how much he respected Pop Smoke for not bowing down to anybody. It was just tragic that things ended the way they did.
I guess whatever Pop Smoke was claiming, he wasn't checking in. And I respect him for not checking in. I just hate the way he had to go out, man.
Next up is Nas. According to Snoop Dogg, the first time he met Nas was in Gardena, a Crip neighborhood. Snoop was chilling with his crew when a white van suddenly pulled up and out jumped Nas, dressed head to toe in red.
Yeah, the first time I met Nasty Nas, I was in Gardena.
And that's a Crip neighborhood?
Yeah, shotguns. And I was out there hanging tough with my homeboys. White van pulls up, and it got like about 15, 16 people in it. And all of a sudden the door open. Some dude jump out. He got on all red.
Snoop said his people were instantly on alert, guns drawn, but he stopped them, telling them, that's Nas.
So the homies is like, they finna draw down on him. I'm like, hold on, cuz, that's the rapper from New York. That's Nasty Nas, cuz.
When Nas walked up to greet him, Snoop gave him some real advice, letting him know that in LA, rocking all red or all blue can get you caught up fast because you never know what neighborhood you might end up in.
And he shake my hand, I'm like, it's a pleasure to meet you, but let me let you know. When you ever in LA, don't ever jump out with no red or no blue on because you don't know what neighborhood you in, loved one.
This just goes to show that Nas didn't care where he was, let alone about checking in. But according to sources, that decision might have had consequences. Rumor has it his home was later invaded, though thankfully, nothing serious happened.
Nas got his house broken into. 2 criminals went to the rear door, broke the glass, and kicked that motherfucker in.
Next up is Eminem. Back in 2003, Eminem teamed up with the legendary Booyah Tribe on their single 911. But this wasn't just your average rap collab. It had way more layers to it. For those who might not know, the Booyah Tribe wasn't just a hip-hop group. They were deeply tied to the Samoan gangs of Los Angeles.
Y'all got some gangster coming this Saturday, man.
What? Regulated.
And if you're familiar with gang culture, you'd know that the Sons of Samoa are no joke. They might come across as chill and easygoing, but when provoked, they're known to snap, and the consequences can be deadly.
Did you catch this? 100% Samoan. Lift up your shirt, bro. Lift up your shirt. Lift up your shirt. Show your tap. Look at that. Samoan.
Back in 2020, Booya Tribe's nephew, Monsta Gunja, revealed that back in the day, his uncles weren't just rappers. They were also working as security for Eminem.
And didn't they do security for Eminem a little bit when M used to come out to the West Coast? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Turns out, Slim Shady was being extorted by the Los Angeles Crips.
He was getting extorted by some Crips.
Who, Paul Rosenberg was, or
Well,
Eminem?
Eminem was getting extorted by some Crips.
But the Booya tribe came through for Eminem. They stepped in, protected him, and in return, got a feature on that track.
A few phone calls were made, and then that's how the feature came about.
This might also explain why Eminem never seemed scared of Suge Knight. Take, for example, the time when 50 Cent was filming the music video for In Da Club. Out of nowhere, someone yelled, "Suge Knight is here." That single sentence threw the entire set into chaos. Suge showed up with about 30 men, reportedly members of a Mexican gang.
This is why I always respected Eminem, 50, and niggas that was with us. So Suge came, he had some Mexican niggas. Now, we from New York. You ain't never seen a nigga with a tattoo on his forehead.
He lights the cigar and then...
He just lights the cigar, and it's the shit about Suge. He light the cigar, and he trying to see what you gonna do. So Eminem, 50, everybody outside.
Amidst this tension, Eminem was also present at the video shoot. True to form, Eminem did not back down.
This is when I knew Eminem was real. He's like, I don't give a man. This is when I knew, I'm like, damn, Eminem is a real nigga. These niggas... 50 niggas outside, what's up?
Then there's the story from the 2001 Source Awards. Normally, artists could have their bodyguards nearby at these events, but for some reason, the rules that night required bodyguards to sit separately from the artists.
The way they had it set up, the bodyguards could not sit with their artists. You had to stand off to the side.
According to Eminem's former bodyguard Big Nas, M ended up surrounded by a group of intimidating guys wearing red shirts, a clear signal they were affiliated with the Bloods.
And M was cut off on his way to his seat, and all these guys in red shirts surrounded him. And I'm looking at M's face, and I'm looking at these guys. I'm like,
Big Nas quickly realized something was off and sprinted across the venue to get to Eminem. He said it was obvious these guys had been sent by Suge.
You see all these guys talking about death row, death row, death row, death row. So by the time I cut in, I step in front of M, I push the guys back. I'm like, yo, what the going on here, man? I was like, death row, what does it got to do with him? He said, hey man, Suge sent him a message.
However, despite all this tension, it's highly likely that if Suge Knight had ever laid a hand on Eminem, he would have faced serious consequences. Thanks to Eminem's connection to the Samoan gang, a group even Suge was known to tread carefully around.
I was like, what's up? Suge Knight scared of you. Suge Knight scared of you. And then everyone I talked to, they said, man, is Suge really this, really that? I was like,
but when
I'm Samoan, man. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You King Kong, you Godzilla, you gonna get your...
Next up is MC Hammer, and he is no joke. Anyone who's ever crossed him will tell you that firsthand.
That MC Hammer, very serious about beef. Y'all laugh and y'all joke about Hammer. No. On it. MC Hammer was there. That nigga approached me. He was like, Red, I'm gonna tell you something, you young, but I don't allow nobody talking about my mama. You understand me? I said, yes, sir.
Sure, he had the flashy dance moves, the parachute pants, and a style that didn't exactly scream tough guy. But behind all that, Hammer had real street cred. He was well connected, highly respected, and backed by a crew that didn't play around.
Yo, his entourage was something like I never seen in my life. Like it was literally
100 people.
More than 100 people.
Benito, one of Hammer's vocalists, shared an incident from back in the day. After an event in Los Angeles, Hammer and his crew were packing into their vans to head back to the hotel when they noticed a familiar face rolling up. Michael Concepcion, one of the original founders of the Crips.
It's this dude in his wheelchair and about 4 or 5 dudes with him, hanging out. I know they Crips because my cousins all Crips in LA. So I'm like, that's some gangbangers. What they doing out here?
Michael told Hammer they needed to talk. Basically, he offered Hammer protection while he was in LA, warning him that anything could happen in the city.
You're like, hey, I want to holler at you for a minute, Hammer. Now, the thing is, Mike already knew who Hammer was because they did the video. We were on the same gang before. So I'm like, what? How am I? So basically he came with Hammer like, hey man, it's LA and everything, man, and things can happen, you know what I'm saying? You to holler at me, man, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me for protection.
Hammer was taken aback by the whole thing and asked why he'd need protection when he had his own squad of bodyguards, 12 of them in fact, and these guys weren't your average security detail. Some of them were straight up killers, so Hammer wasn't feeling like he needed Michael's help.
To holler at me, man, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me for protection. I'm saying, protection for what? See, man, I got 12 bodyguards out there, and for 5 of them straight killers. You know what I'm saying? So, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I don't need no protection.
Michael didn't seem to like Hammer's response and kept pushing, saying Hammer should watch his back.
Man, you need to holler at me, man. If you don't, something could happen to you, whatever. He said, what you trying to say? He said, you need to go ahead and, take care of that and everything will be cool. He said, nigga, you trying to start strangling on me, nigga?
That's when things got heated. Hammer's bodyguards were ready to handle the situation right then and there, but Hammer held them back. Instead, he made it clear to Michael that one phone call from him could shut the whole thing down. Hammer wasn't bluffing either. The next morning, Michael actually came back to apologize, showing just how much respect Hammer commanded.
Our people looking like, yeah, I'm waiting for you to move. Hammer, like, hey, what's up? He said, hey man, it's like this. I'll make one phone call and all this will go away. I said, what's up, man? He said, man, I apologize for the thing. I didn't know, the people you knew and whatever, this and that. And I apologize for what I did, brother. It's all good. We cool. We good. Hammer's like, yeah, it's all right.
Next up is Snoop Dogg. After he blew up, his own crew, the Long Beach Crips, started feeling some type of way. They thought Snoop wasn't doing enough for them. He kept repping and name-dropping the set, but they claimed he wasn't giving back. One specific incident that really rubbed them the wrong way was brought up by a Crip from Long Beach named Flossie. According to him, one of the homies had opened up a new restaurant in the hood, and it was quickly becoming a popular spot. Since Snoop had the platform and the influence, they reached out, hoping he could invest in the business, or at least promote it on his Instagram to help it gain even more traction.
Homeboy Kenneth had a little soul food restaurant, you know what I'm saying? And I was hanging around, and the homies was hanging up there until this was beginning to be the spot, So the homies was like, they was getting Snoop, you don't want Snoop to invest in it, nigga, we don't want you to put no money up, nigga, put us out there.
But instead of supporting, Snoop reportedly brushed them off. Flossie claimed that Snoop acted like they were just looking for a handout, like they were always expecting him to give them money, when that wasn't the case at all.
I'm hearing all this sidebar chatter that Snoop, and I'm reading texts back and forth with Snoop to the homies, and he talking to homies like we peasants or something, like he gonna make the world think niggas always depend on him for money.
Then came the rumors. Word started spreading that Snoop had been straight up banned from his old neighborhood. The story was that he pulled up to Long Beach with 3 or 4 cars full of security, but instead of being welcomed, he was rejected. The gang wasn't showing him any love, and supposedly they had made it clear that he wasn't one of them anymore. Naturally, this didn't sit right with Snoop. He wasn't about to let people spread stories like that without addressing it. In a video response, he shut down the rumors, saying none of that ever happened. According to him, it was just a bunch of bitter gang members trying to stir up drama because he was focusing on mentoring young talent instead of associating with them.
You niggas is 50 years old. You can't get a job, cuz? You mad at me, cuz? Cause I won't help you no more? Cause I can't do nothing to help you no more? Cause I'm focused on helping out the kids, but mad and jealous at me because of what I'm doing? Trying to blemish my name and my character?
A lot of people, especially those from Long Beach, had Snoop's back on this one. They argued that if it wasn't for Snoop, Long Beach wouldn't have the recognition it has today. To them, this whole situation just boiled down to jealousy.
Snoop had been away from the city, but at the same time, he also gave back in many ways. But you always gonna have haters when you popping.
Yeah.
You don't have. I mean, if you don't have haters, you're not popping.
He don't own nobody's shit, but and he was doing for the youth. He been doing, his football league been around, but people don't look at it like
his football league done got mothers happy and sons out the hood.
Snoop, he real for that because he grown himself. He had to work for what he got right now and all that, So for another man to say they ain't give him shit, it's not no handouts out here. We grown out here too. I'm not, all that, you feel me? So any nigga that say Snoop can't go back to the hood and all that, they're a lie, you feel me? Because Snoop got money.
Now, there were some rappers that the gangs did successfully extort, one example being Rick Ross, and it all stemmed from a feud between them. This beef was no joke. The GDs didn't just make threats, they posted death threats against Ross on YouTube, making it very clear they were serious. Things escalated to the point where a hit squad even opened fire on Ross in South Florida. So what exactly did Ross do to get on their bad side? It all goes back to Ross's hit song BMF, where he raps, "I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whipping work, hallelujah." This line didn't sit well with Kevin Clayton, aka OGKK, a local gangster with deep industry connections. OGKK was the go-to guy for rappers visiting Atlanta and one of the chief enforcers of the hate committee of the GD. He felt disrespected by Ross's lyrics, believing it was inappropriate for Ross to use the name of GD founder Larry Hoover without permission from the gangster disciples.
I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover.
KK reacted harshly to Rick Ross. On October 29, 2012, he released a video on YouTube threatening Ross and declaring him banned from Georgia.
Public service announcement right here, straight to the point. This straight at Rick Ross, the whole Maybach music. Real talk. Hey Rick, straight up, you know what you did first time we gave you a pass on the Larry Hoover Big Meech song. You were supposed to took care of some business you didn't take care of. You know who you need to tune in to.
The video from KK went absolutely viral in the hip-hop world, and Rick Ross had no choice but to respond. At that time, Ross happened to be on tour for his new album, God Forgives I Don't. MMG, Maybach Music Group, was dominating the rap scene, with Meek Mill emerging as a star, Wale becoming a top artist, and French Montana dropping back-to-back hits. This was a massive tour, selling out stadiums across the country. Coincidentally, just weeks after KK's video, Rick Ross announced the rest of the MMG tour was canceled. This included tour dates in North Carolina, where the local GDs released a video similar to KK's. As soon as the news broke, everyone assumed Ross was terrified of the GDs, forcing him to respond to the rumors. On December 10, 2012, Rick Ross addressed everything in a radio station interview. He explained why the tour was canceled and insisted it wasn't because of any threats from the GDs.
I canceled the rest of the tour due to the promoter wasn't really handling his business, you know what I'm saying? He canceled a date of mine. I was going to Tucson, Arizona. Okay. And I was really a few hours outside of the, so I just felt like there was some power that I needed to take away from homie, so I canceled the rest of the dates. And never was it due to any threats. You know, I'm a certified man, I am a real boss. So don't never get it twisted. Ricky Rose is a boss. I'm certified worldwide. I could put 1,000 gangsters in any hood. Pull up the footage of me walking out in Chicago on the stage with the chinchilla dragging on the floor. You let me know if that's the swagger of somebody that's in fear of their life.
Ross stood his ground, defending his reputation like a man. But what do you think? Did he cancel the tour because of the GDs, or was it just a coincidence? Before you decide, let's dive into the next incident that might shape your opinion. January 27, 2013 was Rick Ross's 37th birthday. He headed out to Brickell, Miami to celebrate. After a joyous night, he drove home in his Rolls-Royce with a woman named Shateria at 4:42 a.m. While driving through Fort Lauderdale to his beachfront mansion, a car pulled up beside him. The window rolled down and shots were fired at Ross's car. Ross punched the gas, speeding down Los Olas Boulevard. After creating some distance, he made a sharp right onto 15th Avenue, losing control of the Rolls-Royce and crashing into a nearby apartment building. Fortunately, both Rick Ross and Shateria were okay. However, this was a terrifying incident for the Teflon Don. The Fort Lauderdale police were concerned and approached Ross for details, but he refused to make any statements. The case remains unsolved, leaving everyone to speculate. Was it the gangster disciples making a point, local Miami beef, or just a random attack? Given the timing, many online speculated it was the GDs. This rumor gained traction when in a 2016 testimony, an Atlanta GD named Markel White made some shocking statements. He told the courts that after the incident, Rick Ross agreed to pay the GDs $6 million to get off his trail. However, he clarified that the final payment was $3 million from Rick Ross to the Atlanta GDs. He didn't specify who exactly got the money, but we can imagine who it was. But getting back to those who stood their ground against gangs, we have Waka Flocka. Back in 2010, Waka was shooting a music video with Gucci Mane, just doing his thing when suddenly this dude shows up on the set and starts yelling all sorts of crazy stuff at him.
I'm here, I'm here, bro. I'm not studying.
Now, Waka had apparently stepped on some toes because some locals weren't too thrilled about him being in their neighborhood. There's actually a video shot by WorldStarHipHop.com where you can see this guy walking up to the video shoot just hurling insults at Waka Flocka. It turns out these two had some beef in the past, and the guy wasn't happy about seeing Waka on his turf. If you watch the video, you'll notice the dudes rolling up on Waka are all rocking the Crips signature blue, making it pretty clear where their affiliations lie. Things got heated fast, and for a moment it looked like Waka and the guy were about to throw down right there on the set. But thankfully nothing major went down, and it didn't turn into a full-blown fight.
You know what? I need G-Code, West Side to the bullet, man. This boy I need it, bro. We out here eating, bro. We out here eating, bro.
Crip shit, man.
This shit way bigger than this, bro.
Still, after that whole incident, Waka wasn't bothered at all. He didn't even flinch. But that didn't stop those Crip guys. They kept coming after Waka, going off on him multiple times after that.
He got the black eye on there. You feel me? This the black eye I put on him. I put the black eye on him. You feel me? You see it? Waka Flocka, he's a you feel me? I get this stuff out of here, man. Hold on. We can't have this we can't have this nigga in our store. You feel me?
And then there was the time Spider Lock and some Crips members went after Lil Wayne's security. It all started when Lil Wayne was featured on Shawty Lo's Day No remix, and Lil Wayne apparently took a shot at the Crips.
And he had a lyric that says, Suge gang, if you ain't with that, you from the food chain. Thinking about school, the ocean, and you know what you find in the ocean. I thought he was sneak dissing.
According to Spider Lock, Lil Wayne came over to Spider Lock's location, where he had a studio, to shoot a music video with T-Pain. Instead of Spider Lock getting the opportunity to talk with Lil Wayne one-on-one to find out if the song was a diss or not, Spider Lock ended up being with a large group of individuals.
He came to shoot a video with T-Pain. And instead of me getting an opportunity to approach him one-on-one, I ended up being with a large group of individuals.
Things were about to get rough because they intended to attack Lil Wayne's cars and security, but thankfully they heard a police siren and dispersed.
And they were leaving. And when we encountered the SUVs, we kind of approached the SUVs with intentions to do quite a few things. I think we heard one siren off in the distance, and that's all it took. We was out of there.
And this wasn't the only time Crips members would try to threaten Lil Wayne.
G, close that door, G. Hey, Wayne. What's up, I'm Big Magic, cuz. What's happening? You better check in, Magic, 7 gangsters, Crip. Straight up, nigga. Crip. Straight up, nigga. Crip.
And then there's Charleston White, who never holds back when it comes to speaking his mind. Charleston has been very vocal about refusing to check in with any gang. He's even said in interviews that Los Angeles has claimed more rappers' lives than any other city in America. And a lot of those deaths come from silly stuff, like not checking in.
LA done killed more rappers than any city in America. LA is known for killing rappers. Rappers should run from LA.
He's not shy about calling out the craziness of the whole checking in concept, making it clear that he thinks it's just a way for these gangs to exert control and intimidate people.
I'm a black man in America, and I swear up and down as a black man that the white man is holding me down. His systematic institutional racism is keeping me down, his mass incarceration. When I flip the coin over, I got a doing the same thing to me. I got a saying, if I come to this white man's city that he live in, I gotta come check in.
Because of his outspoken criticism, a lot of gang members can't stand him. They've even gone so far as to ban him from entering LA. But if you know Charleston White, you know that didn't stop him one bit. Instead, he doubled down, going on social media live streams, throwing insults, and calling them out even more aggressively.
Death to all Crips and Bloods. Death to all GDs and BDs. May they all die like King Von. May they all die like Drakeo the Ruler. Death to all gangbangers. Death to all gangbangers. We killing Crips. Boom, 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 boom. We killing Bloods.
You can't find me. Yeah, I
can't come to LA. Hit in LA kicking my feet up. Looking out the pretty window right there.
But it's not just LA where checking in is a thing. It's a practice in many major cities, and Detroit, Michigan is no exception. In Detroit, a guy named Trick Trick has made a name for himself enforcing this rule. If you're an artist and you're coming to Detroit, you better check in or you might find yourself in trouble. Rappers like Youngberg, Styles P, Jadakiss, and Trick Daddy have all faced the consequences of not checking in. They've been assaulted or robbed when they came to the city without giving the heads up. One notable incident happened in 2012 when Rick Ross's tour bus got robbed by a group of armed men. Then in 2014, Rick Ross was denied entry into a venue he was supposed to perform at because he violated Trick Trick's no-fly zone policy.
We had Rick Ross right outside tonight at about 11 o'clock. When he was pulling up to come into Sherry Park, he was met by 100 individuals outside. We have tried to pull every resource together and ask him to come back. He is in fear of his life.
Trick Trick's reasoning behind this policy is that he wants artists and record labels to contribute to Detroit's local music scene. He's not about to let them come in, make money off the city, and give nothing back in return.